The Spanish cargo ship Luno crashed off the coast of Biscay, France. As a result of engine failure during a storm, the ship drifted and was then washed ashore near Bayonne by the wind and current. The freighter ran into a breakwater extending from the shore, after which it was torn into two parts by the surf's pressure. All 12 sailors aboard the cargo ship were rescued and evacuated by helicopters from the French Coast Guard. Ship loses cargo during storm.
Peace.
Все, войди, все. Ты на костюмы. Понял? Да, Христа. Ты на костюмы. Войди. This is motor vessel Arvin. Войди. My vessel broken. My vessel. Войди. Arvin.
Тонем, съебуй!
Due to adverse weather conditions, the Palau-flagged Arvin vessel anchored in the administrative area of the port of Barton crashed and sank. Units of the Search and Rescue Coordination Center were immediately dispatched to the region.
Arvin, help me, Mayday.
A small ship caught in a storm loses its cargo. An Icelandic air rescue team is at work rescuing the crew of a cargo ship, Skalva, caught in a storm. the aftermath of a major hurricane in the Indian Ocean. Part of the cargo on the ship was lost.
We stopped.
In the early morning of March 16, 2011, the 225-meter bulk carrier MS Oliva runs aground at Nightingale Island, regarded as the second most important bird island in the world, and very remotely located at 1,500 miles from Cape Town.
Что падение не зафотаешь, что ли, ёбаный рот? Блять, как бы самому не уебаться еще.
A fire broke out on the cargo ship at night. As a result, all the cars were destroyed. The South Korean merchant ship Stellar Banner was sunk off the coast of the Brazilian state of Maranhão after running aground and sustaining serious damage. The initial inspection showed that the cargo ship had a 25-meter-long hole. The decision to sink the vessel was made after a thorough assessment of its condition. The cargo ship Smart ran aground and split in half. It happened in the harbor of Richards Bay, on the coast of the Indian Ocean in the Republic of South Africa. The Fedra engines failed to start, and efforts to secure new lines from 3 large tugs failed. It was pinned up against the cliffs below the Europa Point lighthouse. 4 of the ship's crew were airlifted to safety by the gallant efforts of the Spanish Coast Guard.
That probably did it.
I tried to have a nice relaxing pee and it all got blown away. Oh, let's calm down a bit.
Hard to imagine the violence of the storm.
Yeah.
It's still very stormy.
The RTS Pioneer cargo ship, with a displacement of 70,000 tons, can withstand very harsh weather conditions off the coasts of the Philippines and China. These are the infamous waters where powerful seasonal typhoons originate. While sailing between Warnemünde and Le Havre, a guest was taken ill and required medical treatment on land. The helicopter was too large to fit on the helipad and was required to hover while flying sideways, as the ship was still traveling at 18 knots. Incredible bit of flying. Beautiful shots of the Queen Elizabeth cruise ship in the Atlantic Ocean during an 11-magnitude storm. The ship cleaves through huge waves.
I can see that coming. Look at the height of that wave.
A large loaded cargo ship sails in the Pacific Ocean through a 10-point Beaufort storm. A supply ship navigates through a powerful storm in the Arctic Ocean.
Ja.
High seas in the middle of Atlantic Ocean in winter season. 12. Beaufort wind speed. Hurricane. Continuous rolling pitching. Vessel tried to proceed towards Canada with half a head, but 0 GPS speed, only drifting southerly. On board the ship MS Expedition, Force 12 on the Beaufort scale, from the Antarctic Peninsula to South America. The cargo ship Western lost power during a storm due to engine failure. A rescue team was called to the site to evacuate the ship to the port. The tanker for transportation of liquefied gas got into a storm. A 160-meter-long cargo ship was caught in a devastating storm near the Cape of Good Hope. The ship's roll reaches 32 degrees at a critical 40. This Damen PSV 3300 CS is a medium-sized PSV dedicated to the transport of goods to and from offshore locations. It is given global relevance with its DP2 capabilities, 551, and preparation for oil recovery duties. The 195-meter-long oil tanker was caught in a 12-point storm. The wind speed reaches 50 meters per second. The Ulstein-designed ultra-long-distance towing vessels, ALP Keeper and ALP Sweeper of ALP Maritime's Future Class, towed an FPSO from Singapore to Angola. On the way to Cape Horn, the cruise ship encountered massive waves. During a cruise ship trip, a passenger suffered a heart attack. A U.S. Marine Boeing Vertol CH-46 Sea Knight came to help. Polar Onyx is an offshore construction vessel designed and built by UL Stein. Delivery to GC Reber Shipping. First assignment in deep waters offshore Brazil for Petrobras. A severe storm caught a cargo ship in the Pacific Ocean. Huge waves are rolling on the deck.
Нихуя себе, блядь. Вот это въебало, блядь. Не знаю, блядь. Хорошо, что не вышли, блядь.
Video taken on the Queen Elizabeth in very rough seas during her maiden transatlantic crossing in January 2011.
So we're on the anthem of the seas, and this is what we're doing right now. Got an awesome storm going on, rocking this massive boat, about 100+ mile-an-hour winds, as you can see.
An emergency situation has occurred off the coast of New South Wales after dozens of containers fell from a cargo ship during a storm at sea. Now there are questions about how securely they were secured during loading at the port. A giant cargo ship transports timber during a storm. These waves are quite powerful and high. At such moments, the full force of nature is really felt. The Japanese-flagged container ship 1 Apus lost 1,916 cargo containers after it was caught up in a violent storm in the Pacific on November 30th, 2020. The vessel arrived on December 8th in the Japanese port of Kobe, where ship owners and managers said a full safety inspection would be carried out. The incident is described as the second biggest cargo loss in shipping history. Huge waves hit Stina, ferry from Holyhead to Dublin.
And the other ships are nearby.
Stunning footage showing how the ship overcomes the storm. While the crew is calm, it's even fun for them.
Not me, the car.
Oh my God, this way.
I'm with me, the car now.
If I spin round into here, you get some idea of just the seas we're up against. Here, I've got to brace myself. This is I believe someone said a force 7 with winds gusting 50 knots and a swell of 30 feet or more. But I've never been in anything like this, and it's freaky the way everything just spins around. All around we're getting buffeted. And just look at the size of some of these seas. Oh my God, this is just getting a little bit scary now rather than just plain exhilarating. The guys are still trying to do their thing in the restaurant. This is the best view. The outer decks, as you can see by the notice earlier, they're obviously completely closed. You've got to be really silly to go out in this. But let's just carry on looking at a force 7 gale in the Drake Passage. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is the Drake Passage. It takes you between Antarctica and South America. We're heading back now. We had a relatively quiet passage coming over, but now it's payback time.
A large fishing vessel flying the flag of the Netherlands confidently passes the waves in a storm. Its load capacity is 5,162 tons. Aurora Australis, in a fully developed force 9 gale on her way to Antarctica. Wind 40-45 knots. Significant wave height 9 meters, but the most impressive wave is the dumping 14-meter breaker just ahead of the ship. cruise ship Anthem of the Seas go through Hurricane Hermine. On the morning of 16th April 2014, the ferry MV Sewol sank while en route from Incheon towards Jeju City in South Korea. The 6,125-ton vessel sent a distress signal from about 2.7 kilometers north of Byongpungdo at 0858 KST. The crew of a Dutch cargo ship was rescued during a storm off the coast of Norway. The ship was in danger of sinking and causing an oil spill. The footage shows some of the 12 crew members jumping into the ocean, after which they were rescued by a helicopter. The rest were lifted straight from the deck. All of them were taken to a safe place. A large cargo ship ran aground in Mauritius and broke apart, leading to a major oil spill. The boat ended up against the rocks because of the strong Sirocco wind that throughout the day had blown over Sicily and is half sunk, bow first. Fortunately, no injuries were recorded, either among the passengers or among the crew members. In all, there were 117 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Scenes of panic were recorded. The passengers were disembarked thanks to lifeboats and boats made available by the islanders. A huge tanker goes underwater into the sea.
Wow, that was nice, man. That was nice, man. Oh shit.
The Ocean X Sanderling pushed to St. John's, NL from Halifax in a very bad winter storm. The vessel pushed at 11-12 knots, while other vessels in the area slowed to a safe 3-4 knots for safety and to prevent any damages.
Oh man. Huh? Oh shit, man. It's not good, huh?
In the Sea of Okhotsk, a fishing vessel went fishing for crab in stormy weather. West Navigator meets Hurricane Barrett on Ormenlange outside Kristiansund.
Ya no me gusta nada. No me gusta nada. Ya piedad, esto es piedad.
The Grand Holiday cruise ship passes through powerful waves in a storm. You can see how the ship tilted, which caused panic among passengers and crew. Russian chemical tanker goes through a storm in the Black Sea. View from the bridge of refrigerated cargo ship MV Lady Rosebud during 60 KT winds and 15-meter waves recorded in the Mediterranean a few hours after passing Gibraltar. Chemical tanker encountered a powerful storm on its way to New York. An oil tanker is experiencing a powerful Hurricane Sandy in the Sargasso Sea, a 12-point Beaufort storm. A cargo ship is struggling with giant waves in the rough sea of northern China. The force of the storm reaches 12 Beaufort points.